Hello everyone, this is Defense Politics Asia, and this is the update over at the Siversk Front. So at the Siversk Front, there is some major developments that I want to update you guys. The most important thing, I just keep it either in a summarized version, quick version of what exactly is important is at Serebryanka and Hryhorivka, the Russian forces is currently attacked Hryhorivka and Serebryanka. And this came after a lot of bombardments over the past few days, at least a week or two. They have been bombarding this place for quite some time already. And this time around, we do have reports of them attacking. And another big important thing that seems to have happened is that the Russian forces apparently is attacking towards Vasyukivka in this direction, from the direction of Soledar. So in the direction of Soledar, probably go through Sil, because the Russian forces have captured Sil, and from Sil, they seems to have pushed forward. They already pushed 1.5 kilometers towards Vasyukivka, and so these are the two big moves that are very significant. So now I'm going to first talk about all the different other parts that the Russians are pushing. Currently, the Russians previously have been attacking from the north towards Bilohorivka in Luhansk, and in the latest report, we have information that they're coming from the south to try to capture Luhansk. And the Russians are also pushing at Bakhmut. I'm not sure if they going from east to west. Maybe they can also come from the north. Because we do not know. Nobody actually give any information about this, and the lack of information also suggests that this entire frontier is actually fought by the Russian forces, the Russian Federation forces. That means it's not by the Donbas militias, or maybe they are limited, but no, they are all following the Russian operational secrecy or operational discipline, where we don't really get information. We get a lot of information from the Soledar region because it is being fought by the Wagner private military contractors, which is why we have so much information about the fighting towards Vasyukivka. We have fighting towards Rozdolivka being reported because they have intel. They can talk to the Wagner group. But over here, we don't have much information which suggests that this area here is the responsibility of the Russian military. And there's also fighting reported at Sperne. So you can see that there is multiple push in this direction. And this is not inclusive of the fighting that is in the forestry, the Serebryanske Forestry, where there is an exchange of fighting, of offensive between the two. Further up north here, which you cannot see, the Russians are pushing Dibrova and Liman. And further south, we know that the Russians have more or less captured Soledar. However, I have not declared Soledar captured because literally there are still Ukrainian forces on the most western part of Soledar. It's not much left, but it's still there. So because as such, I will not repeat what Russian Defense Ministry's words about the capture of Soledar, because it's not fully captured just yet. And even until today, we still have reports coming out from Soledar, from even pro-Russian source Ryba, where they are still reporting fighting in this region. They just captured salt mine number 7. So there's definitely still fighting around this region. So it is irresponsible if I would just repeat what the Russian Defense Ministry's words about Soledar is now captured, despite there are still reports of fighting over in Soledar. That makes no sense. So I'm not going to do that. And so there is fighting over here. This is towards Krasnopolivka. This one is Krasnopolivka, and the Russians are also pushing here. And there is also attack at Bilohorivka, at Krasna Hora, Paraskovievka, and these are all the major push that the Russians are currently operating on in the Siversk region, as you can see. So the Ukrainian forces have sent reinforcement towards Krasnopolivka around here, and then I think this is the most I have in terms of the Ukrainian movements. And what is important in this push is that firstly, to the capture of Serebryanka, let's talk about the northern part first. So the Ukrainians holding at Serebryanka and Krasnohorivka. if these two positions fall, then Bilohorivka will not be able to be held, because they need reinforcement to come through Hryhorivka and Serebryanka in order to reach this position at Bilohorivka. The center part, this area here, is likely to be Russian controlled, which is why attacks can be reported towards Serebryanka, and definitely they are not going through the river, because that is definitely not considered attacking Serebryanka, because this river here, you don't really cross it easily. It's very hard, if not near impossible. Only the Ukrainians have some pontoon operations here where they actually go into the forestry through Serebryanka, and of course through Hryhorivka in this region here. And if these two locations fall, then the Russians will be able to push the Ukrainian forces out of the forestry area, because there will be no more reinforcement over here. There will be no more reinforcement, and as such, this location, this entire forestry area, will not be easy to be held, with the Ukrainians having to go from Hryhorivka to reinforce, which is extremely inconvenient. Not say impossible, but very inconvenient. So the Ukrainian forces also will not be able to hold the position at Bakhmut, because with the fall of these positions, the entire rear of the Bakhmut will be exposed, and the Russians will be able to do a cutting off of their retreat route, and they can be encircled easily. So that's why this is not entirely safe for the Ukrainians should these lines fall. Tentatively, the Russians will not be able to swing down, because they still have to pay attention to Serebryanka and Hryhorivka. And in the Spurny region, the Ukrainians continue to make very good defense over in this region here. The Russians have been trying to break through Spurny for like forever, but the Russians have not been able to do it. Further south in the Brestove region, I don't think the Ukrainians are anymore in this position, because there is information of Russian push towards Vinka previously, and this push concurrently with the push at Vasily does suggest that Brestove and Bilohorivka region here is unlikely to be under Ukrainian control anymore, with the Russian forces likely to be pushing in this way. And this is also looking not so good, but I think the Ukrainians have very good defense around this region here, because very often we hear of an attack, but very soon there is no more news and sound of it, which means that the Russians were not able to penetrate through, and they decided not to try. So that's likely to be what's happening. And at Vasily, things are not looking very good. There's some rumors of the Russian making some successful push in the Vasily direction. So the Ukrainians are definitely under pressure here, and Vasily cannot fall, because if not, then the Russian will be able to push through and attack Vinka from the south. So this the Ukrainians definitely do not want it to happen. Similarly at Hryhorivka, in my previous Siversk analysis, I mentioned that the Russians can use Hryhorivka as a platform to bypass and ignore all these towns and actually go into the rear. But with this latest development at around the Sil region, where they have now moved so much towards the Vasyukivka, the Russian forces can now capture Vasyukivka. And this is actually the only two roads left towards the Siversk Front. There's currently one road through Vasyukivka in this direction, and the only other road is actually in the north, through Platonivka. I think that is where the map is. Let me show you. So if you look at the roads, there's only one road. No, not through Platonivka, but through Zakitne. So it's from Siversk all the way to Zakitne, and there is also another road only through Vasyukivka. This is the only two roads that you can actually see here. This is actually through the forest. This is actually a very small road, a tiny road. Maybe, yeah, I mean, if you want to use it, definitely still can use it. So but the two major roads is these two, in the near Siversk and or around Vasyukivka. So as such, if the Russian forces able to take Vasyukivka, then the Ukrainians will be left with only the northern routes through here and through the north. And this will means that this entire region in the south will be in serious problem and danger, because reinforcement then will have to come down from the north through Siversk to be able to, you know, reinforce all these regions, and they cannot actually do any more, you know, push in this direction. It will not be possible. So which means that if this falls, Bilohorivka, perils will fall, and then the Ukrainians will have to fall back, or they might actually do a Soleda and then try their best to hold this position just north of Hryhorivka. Perhaps, I have no idea what the Ukrainians would do, because they do try to defend a lot of places that is very undefendable. Yeah, I'm not going to try to, you know, over predict what the Ukrainians would react, but this is the strategic situation where if Vasyukivka is captured, then the Ukrainian forces at the Siversk Front can only go from the north. This entire region here, this entire, you know, farming region, if we look at the map here, you know, if I zoom in so much more, we don't even see tiny roads. There's no roads here actually. Like, there's literally no roads. So these are already the tiny roads. These are already the small roads that is left for the Ukrainian side. So this is something that to take note of. So I think this is the point that I think we need to take a look or keep focus on. And over at this region here, the fighting around Krasnohora, the Bilohorivka, Paraskoviyevka is more towards the Bakhmut Front situation, because there's no more major settlements and towns around this region here, I guess. Let me check. Yeah, not much. The next one was is Previlia already. So the next major one here is actually at Previlia. So the entire region here, there is no much settlements, so it's not worth defending or very hard to defend for the Ukrainians. So the fighting is more towards towards Bakhmut, which is in the south of this map here, over here. So anyway, I think this is enough. I think enough arrows already. I think I hit quota. I think you guys probably find this useful, especially talking about the major supply route, the three roads, the major road north from Kreminna, and there's a major road through at Vasyukivka, and a small tiny road through this waterway or this river region here. These are three roads. One is threatened, and the Ukrainians are only left with the other two. With the fighting at Serebryanka and Hryhorivka, the forestry is now in danger of cutting off supplies. So anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you. Do press the subscribe button, press the like button, please press the like button. I really want you to press the like button, and share this with your friends and family and contacts who might be interested in such military stuff. And I'll see you in the next update.